Hello, Elizabeth and Robert. Here is your sewer scope from today's inspection. That's me in the basement, just kind of pointing things out, letting you know that I'm actually in the basement. There's the clean out on that main sewer stack that I had pointed out earlier today. Black ABS plastic pipe to start out with. Fairly typical for when the house was built. I either ran through some cobwebs or pulling a cold camera out of a cold truck and putting it into a warm sewer pipe caused the lens to fog up or muck up. In any event, I'm turning on some water at that utility sink down there in the basement area to clean things up a little bit. Give me a second and we'll get a clearer picture here. Actually have to move the camera up to where the water is actually entering the pipe. The main sewer stack is behind where that utility sink is, so I had to actually get to where the water flow was. But we're in it. We stay in ABS, we stay in the plastic pipe for about 54 feet. Holding water here, on the return trip, you'll see, if you watch the whole video, you'll see that a lot of that has dissipated. At 54 feet, we will hit cast iron. And it's fairly corroded. I mean, typical for cast iron pipe to get a little gnarly on the inside. It's a metal pipe that's got water running through it all the time, so it's going to pick up some corrosion. Again, it's just a characteristic of the pipe and the situation. Here's the transition point. When it gets rough, when it gets corroded like that, it tends to pick up stuff. Let's call it just stuff. Natural materials, cooking fats, other organic matter, things like that tend to catch on it. And it also, again, it gets scaly after a while. So periodic cleaning is not a bad idea. The other kind of characteristic of this pipe is that there's a lot of twists and turns in it. So the number of bends, the number of times my 3/8 inch cable and 14-inch long camera head and housing have to make, the harder it is to push. This area right here, again, we're holding some stuff. This will all get kind of washed away. I'll push some of it out of the way also. So I'm going to get out roughly another 30 feet before I just can't push anymore. I just don't have enough purchase. It's a relatively stiff cable that I'm pushing, but there's limitations to how much pressure it's going to take before it just kind of bends. Too much pressure and I'm going to snap the cable. That's not a fun day for anyone. It's a big cost to replace 175 feet of cable, which is what I've got on my machine. So what I'm going to recommend in the written report is to have the pipe cleaned, and see if you can get further out. Now, functional drainage is pretty decent. I think it would be better once the pipe is cleaned. Right now, I'm struggling to be able to move even a little bit further. So for the last 6 feet, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on more water in the basement bathroom. I'm going to flush the toilet, and I'm just going to get a high volume of water pushing through the pipe. That's going to cause the camera lens to go underneath the water, and we won't have visibility. So again, I'll get to 130 feet. Lots of water will rush through. We'll lose picture, and then I'll pull back to about 128 feet, and you can see the drainage of the pipe. But again, my recommendation is going to be have the pipe cleaned, and then re-videoed. Most sewer companies in our area don't carry anything longer than 140 feet. So chances are they're not going to be able to get out to the city connection. They may. If you look to the bottom right of your picture, my guess is that that's an inlet. It's a clean out, potentially in the city street or just before the city street. So we may be close to the city connection, but I can't say that for sure. So again, I'm going to move a couple more feet, and then I'm going to stop. I do keep the camera rolling as I pull back, so you're more than welcome to watch the return journey. Please read through my written report for recommendations, and then reach out to me if you have any questions or if I can be of service. I'm always happy to be a resource.